I thought, ooh, this, I need to fix this. I can't read it. So let's see if I can change the sticker. I thought I'd just come on live. I haven't been on live in a while, and it's hard to find time to do it. I'm just making a fresh cup of tea. I have laundry to fold. Thought it was a good time to chat. Let's see if I can fix that sticker, because no one can read what it says. But I do want to, oh, hi, Aurora. Darlene, oh my gosh, everybody's here. I just thought oh, and Cindy, oh my gosh, this is so fun. I haven't been on in a while, and I haven't even been entering in a while. I've been so busy catching up. My office is still a disaster. I'm still trying to unpack and sort all the books that I picked out from Tag. I'm supposed to do a live stream in the garage, but the guys overtook it. So I had to do it in my tiny office, and I was climbing over boxes. It's like the worst live stream, but I thought I would pop in and talk about sweepstakes because, you know, my favorite subject. Love hanging with my peeps, talking about how to win giveaways. Who doesn't love that? And actually, because it's the beginning of the month, we'll probably see a bunch start tomorrow. I'm just going to stand here in the kitchen. I shouldn't just swirl around while I'm waiting for... I have one of these Instapots. And if you like tea and you don't own one of these, what are you waiting for? I got that one at Walmart. That's actually the second one I've had. I use it so much that it the first one died. And they're worth every penny. It keeps water at like 208 degrees. I have tea like that, except for when it's empty and I have to fill it up and then I have to wait for it to boil. But it holds 3 liters and it's awesome. And there is a good use of gift cards. You may have won. If you love tea or making coffee, you know, instant coffee, anything that requires hot water right away, like if you're cooking something and it starts to get low and you need to add hot water, perfect for that. So that's where you can use gift cards that you've won to enhance your life. It's a lot of fun. If you also have any questions about sweepstakes contests and giveaways while I'm chit-chatting, pop them in the comments and I will answer those specific giveaway questions. For some reason, I had a lot of questions recently about mail-ins, which are fading away. I remember the last entry blank that I saw in a store in my area was 2006. So the only mail-in sweepstakes that I enter now are sweepstakes for not second chance. There's second chance in the U.S., but I don't have them here in Canada where I live. See that? But in the rules, and I just did a video on this, in the rules there should always be what is known as an NPE, a no purchase entry, or an AMOE, an alternative method of entry, for you to mail in. So for example, sometimes my local lottery corporation will entice you to purchase lottery tickets or to gamble at their casino because they'll have a drawing and you can win XYZ. However, by law, you have to have a no purchase entry option. So if you go and you read the rules, you can find out how you can enter, but usually it's by writing an essay and mailing it in. Sometimes, I know Air Miles usually has that option, but they allow you to email it in. So that was a little easier because what I recommend is if it says, you know, 50-word essay, 250-word essay, 500-word essay, those and zeros was a little crazy. I do it in Word because then at the bottom I get the word count and I know if I'm in the range. And then if I have to handwrite, because the rules will always tell you how you should submit that entry. If I have to handwrite it, then I just copy it and I know that I've met the rule requirement. And if it's the email one, oh handy, I just copy and paste it. So I know, again, know it's met the rule requirement. So that's what you can do. Oh, isn't that funny? TikTok says encourage your viewers to share your live and invite more of your friends. And invite more friends. Well, then maybe they'll become my friends. That's fun. And I just started the dish. This kitchen's probably noisy because I just started the dishwasher. I'm waiting for the kettle to boil. Because I want more tea. If you've followed me for any length of time, one of the first articles I ever had written about the hobby was because I was talking to the journalist. He actually came to our house. Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. He actually came to our house, and I made a big pot of tea for us to share. And he actually wrote about that in the article. Now, it was for a business magazine. Oh, 10th says, I used to get the most random things in the mail, and I barely remember what it was from. I love those, right? Because what happens is sometimes you win the secondary prize, or third prize, or 10th prize, and then it, wasn't. Oh, it says back when it was big sweepstakes emperor. Yeah, you know what? It's a huge hobby. Companies spend billions, not millions, billions of dollars running legitimate sweepstakes every day. Or every year, rather. Every day. And now, because of social media, smaller companies can afford to host giveaways. I just did another TikTok on that, where I talked about how I, as a small business owner, it's very easy for me to host a giveaway on Instagram. I'm actually having one right now on my my website. If you go to my blog, if you go to my website, contestqueen.com, and scroll down, you'll see under CQ giveaways, I'm hosting a giveaway, and it's very inexpensive for small businesses to host legal giveaways on their websites. I've been using different apps. I used Rafflecopter for years and years and years as an entry widget. People have been saying they were having problems with it. I switched to King Sumo because I signed up for AppSumo and you get it free. Why not? Then I've heard some rumblings about that one. Like, okay. So I'm trying Gleam. The only thing is Gleam doesn't have some of the features I want as a marketer unless I subscribe to it. So I want to try it out for a while, see if it's working for me. If it is, then I'll subscribe to it and I'll use that as my giveaway platform. 10 says it would be a sweepstakes for months, sometimes close to a year ago from when I actually entered. Yeah, they don't do that now because everything's so much faster, and with social media, with software, with drawing, the time has just shrunk. I have been doing a line edit of the Name It and Claim It game because I am about to do the Audible version, or a test for the Audible version. So the producer told me, do a line edit, make sure it flows for speaking, and then take that and put it on your iPad and bring that in so you're not flipping pages. And we're going to see if I can do it. Now, I had a test of, oh, it's not finished yet. I thought it was finished boiling. It says 3 minutes. I did a test. I'm going to do a test to see, because I did a poll, rather, and I said, should I narrate Helene's books, or should somebody else? And everyone said, well, she's charged you with her legacy, so you should be the one to do it. So we're going to see if that works, and who knows. But what's really interesting is, because I'm doing a line edit, and I haven't actually read the book like this since I last edited it, it's funny how you read a book again and you find something new in it. And the time span from when she would enter and when she would win was weeks and weeks and weeks, sometimes months, depending on the sweepstakes. And now it's sometimes it's instant. They used to have what they call instants, but I don't think they're instant the way they're instant now. Like, we have giveaways where if you enter, you could win, like, right now. There's one I do every summer from one of the soda pop companies, and and what they have there is you can win a car instantly. So can you imagine now? 2 years ago, last year I hardly won anything. I won a t-shirt. Previously, I've won 2 different Keurigs, a Kobo reader, like it's like a Kindle, but it's a different manufacturer. So Kobo, and 2 different types of Sony headsets. One was earbuds, which I got. The over-the-ear ones my daughter got. And then the big one, we won a hot tub. Yeah, that's nice. And yeah, thanks, 10th. I ignore comments like that. I don't read them out loud. If it's not sweepstakes related, I don't read those comments. This chat is about sweepstakes, contests, and giveaways, and about how to find, organize, enter, and win them. So if your comment is related to any of those 7 parts of the hobby, or actually any of the 5 ways to enter, in person, by the radio, mail-in, online, or text messaging. And then under online, you've got social media, you've got, online forums, all that kind of stuff. So if it falls under any of those umbrellas, I am happy to answer any questions about that. However, if it's not, I don't answer it or even talk to it, because that's why people are here. They want to find out. Oops, sorry. Here we go. Here, I'll show you. I love this thing. All you have to do is hit the unlock button and pump it. And you just hold it, and I have tea instantly. And now it'll keep it. It just hit 212 degrees, which is boiling. And then it keeps it at 208. So later, when I feel like another cup of tea, I just come and do it again. I love it. To me, that's my number 1 appliance, next to my KitchenAid mixer. And my number 1 software is RoboForm. Oh, somebody won from Coke. Yeah, so, have I ever won in any of the Coca-Cola hosted sweepstakes? Yeah, so Coca-Cola, so you have to remember, all the different countries have different companies running them, even though there's it's Coca-Cola Canada, there's Coca-Cola, which is just in the U.S., Coca-Cola UK, Coca-Cola India. They're different, they have a head office in each location, because if you've ever done, I will answer your RoboForm question in just 1 second. It's very good. You can't live without it. If you're a actually, even non-sweepers, I don't know how they function without it. But in 2012, the annual National Sweepstakes Convention was in Atlanta, Georgia. World Global Headquarters Coca-Cola. They have something called the World of Coke. Highly recommended if you have a chance to go see it. It was so cool. They give you a tour. They show you the history of Coke. It's a little convoluted because they don't admit that it actually had the derivative of the name in it. They talked about a soda war. I don't think it was originally a soda war, but it turned into a soda war. And the big competition, I remember in marketing, when I was in college, reading the other guy blinked about the Pepsi Cola war thing that was happening and how Coke changed their formula and it went back. Anyway, I digress. So what they had there was a room that you could taste the different sodas that they had for different countries, because different markets had different preferences. It was very cool. Anyway, similarly, the giveaways in every country is different for those companies. So for Coca-Cola, they used to have, in the States, I think it's still run, it's called Coke Rewards, or iCoke Rewards. Anyway, we had iCoke, and it closed down, I'm thinking 2013, maybe a little later. But you used to collect the caps from Coke, and it had a code in it, and you could enter that code on the site, and then you could save up the codes, and then you'd get points, and then you could enter those points in to win prizes. Or they would have specific giveaways, or there was different things. Anyway, that closed. And then since then, there's been regular Coke giveaways. Like one summer, Coca-Cola had all gold caps, and you found a gold cap, you entered the code, and you could win prizes, and they had local prizes and national prizes. So and I don't even understand how they ran the software for this because it's brilliant. So when you register, you'd put in your code, your zip code, or in our case, postal code. So it knows you're in a certain region. So everybody was in for the national prizes, and then you were in for local prizes. Now last year, they had one, you were supposed to scan a QR code, and it was broken. It was broken in Canada, it was broken in the States. So the idea was you were supposed to scan it, and you'd take you to an entry page, and you fill it all out, and then you're supposed to scan it again, and it would tell you if you won instantly. The first scan worked, the second scan didn't. Coca-Cola, did I blog about this or just share about it on Instagram? Coca-Cola said, oops, yeah, it's not broken. Actually, it was the ad agency, not Coca-Cola themselves. The ad agency, so yeah, if I was Coke and I'd hired this agency, I'd be really ticked. Hold on, I need my milk. Yes, we have bagged milk in Canada, or at least where I live. Not all of Canada has bagged milk. And it's empty, so here's what I do. Take the bag out. We have the jug. So I have a container. So all the milk sits in here. I usually just pull it out from the front. This is normally in the fridge. I just wanted to show you guys. I'm trying to do this one-handed. And then we take the little clip thing that also has a hook. We can put it on the magnet. We leave it on the fridge. We cut the corner off. Voila, a little more moo juice. Done. Okay. So, a little bit of culture there. So, they said everyone use the AMOE, which is the alternative method of entry. Yeah, 10th, I am in Canada. However, for some reason, most of my sweeping friends, all the sweeping events I go to, all that kind of stuff, all in the States. I just went, if you go look, I haven't finished blogging it yet. Is that terrible? From March 11th. I'm never going to remember what happened if I don't do it soon. I went to the Tar Heel Sweepstakes Club Spring Banquet on March 11th in Mooresville, North Carolina. It was so fun. I shared a video here on TikTok, and I'm going to the annual National Sweepstakes Convention in Scottsdale, Arizona this July. So excited. Need to book my plane tickets. Haven't done that yet. But I do have my room booked. I do have my ticket to the event. We're good to go. Sort of. So then, anyway, so they had that. So they had a lot of instant prizes that were really cool. And I have still yet, this is the only Yeti product I've ever won. I don't know why. I have a set of wine glasses. I use them for tea all the time because actually they're thermal, right? It's the only Yeti product I've ever won. So I would love, like, you know, a Yeti Traveler, all that kind of stuff. A big cooler, make my boyfriend very happy. Anyway, I wasn't winning any instant prizes. While I was at last year's convention, we got notified we won one of the trips that Coke was giving away. Not in a million years I think we were going to win one of the trips. So we won a trip from Coke last summer. And what was really funny was Tom Cavalli, who owns I Win Contests, it was his turn to speak. So how the conventions work is we have go read. I've got tons of blogs on this because it's a 4-day event. I'm not going to tell you the whole thing. But basically we have speakers to teach us different things about sweepstakes and prizes. And then we hang out with our friends. And then we have a speaker and prizes, and we hang out with our friends. And that's the whole weekend, and we have so much fun. Anyway. He had gone on his lunch. He was doing an interview because he had won a trip on the Disney Wish. And then he got a call that he'd won a trip on the Disney Wish. And he came back and he said, did anybody else win a trip at lunch? And I went, me. And he said, seriously? I'm like, yeah, seriously. I'm on a trip at lunch. He's like, where? I said, to a music festival in Montreal. Yay! Anyway, that was so fun. Okay, so I digress. So yeah, I did win from Coke. So Coke here has usually summer giveaways now only. And we seem to have a good sweepstakes season for products. And it tends to be all the soft drink companies. Canada Dry's a big one. Pepsi does one every year. They changed it last year. Wasn't happy with it. Just saying. McDonald's still has Monopoly up here. Lots of different giveaways that do that. Okay. So yeah, so I have one from Coke, but not the way I think you're asking, because Coke doesn't run in Canada the same way it does in the United States. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah, 10 says you're doing big traveling. Yes, and the reason I ended up at the Mooresville, North Carolina event was because I'm expanding my business. You know, if you follow me for any length of time, you know I've republished now all of Helene Hadsel's books that she published. I do have more of her documents and her notes. I think I'm probably going to hobble together another book or some course notes, things like that for people. She was fascinating. Anyway, through an incident with Amazon, who they had me updating the copyright page in her book because they didn't like how I'd written it. My mistake was doing it the way Helene had it, and it wasn't right. In the process of fixing that, I ended up contacting her second publisher, Top of the Mountain Publishing, who was owned by Tag Powell, and I had found some of his books at her house, and I went, wait a minute, I recognize that name. Turns out they were friends, and he'd done the second edition of the Name It and Claim It game. And that's the one where it went out of print. Like after his, it wasn't in print anymore, and then I took it over. So it basically, his printing was in 1988. Anyway, it turned out he is still alive and living in Florida. And he's an author in his own right, and there was nobody taking care of his legacy. And he loved what I did with Helene's books, because he knew what he had done with them, and then he saw what I had done with them. Well, printing and technology is like leaps and bounds, right? Since the 80s. So I said to him, who's taking care of your legacy? And he said, nobody. And I'm like, would you like me to do it? And he said, absolutely. So we drove down and I bought all the rights to his books. And 6 tape sets. So 10, now I shouldn't say all of his books because some of them aren't applicable now. So I bought the rights to 10 books and 6 tape sets, which I'm going to turn into Audible books. Cool. So that's why I was traveling. So that was March. So basically we drove to Florida and back. July I'm going to the annual national. Now I'm trying to figure out when to take George for his 60th, because I had already promised him one of his bucket list items is the Grand Canyon. I was going to take him. Now we're going to a wedding in Mexico in November, so I have no idea where I'm going to fit that in. But there's also a third sweepstakes event this year in Memphis in October, which is when his birthday is. So I'm not going to make the Memphis event because I got so many moving parts right now. But yeah, anyway, thank you for being patient. Going back to your question, RoboForm. Now what RoboForm is, if you haven't tried it yet, RoboForm is a software that's designed to keep your passwords. But it's also a form filler. But unlike autofill on your computer, it'll fill the whole form. So if you fill out a whole form, so for example, you're entering a contest and you have to fill in your name, address, phone number, email, birth date. Then they have a couple of questions like, what's your favorite flavor? Or do you have the UPC code from one of the products in the contest? You know, they have specially marked packages. You need the UPC code for some of those, or there's a few radio buttons they're asking you yes and no questions. You can go and fill all of those out and save it in something that RoboForm calls a pass card. And then the next day, this is important if it's a daily giveaway. Then the next day when you come back, you can just fill the form and it goes, you hit enter, done. And sometimes, depending on the form, it'll auto-enter it or auto-submit it. So you can go through, it'll fill it, submit it, fill it, submit it, fill it, submit it, fill it, submit it. It cut my entry time in half. And then once a week, I do all our local radio stations, because locals, right? You got to enter local and then statewide and then national, because you're better off local. I always do all my locals on Mondays. And the local giveaways, I have a list of radio stations in RoboForm in my weekly folder, and they're all saved to the contest page, and I highlight them all and I hit go, and it literally opens all 20 tabs, and I just go and check every contest page quickety quick. It saves so much time. And so many people are like, well, I don't want to pay for RoboForm. It's not worth it. First of all, it's less, I think it's like $15 a year. I mean, you can go to a fast food restaurant for that much. This is going to save you hours and hours and hours of time. Not to mention the fact that, what is my password for this page? What is my password? I have like 700 passwords. And you know what was really amazing? Last time I updated my computer, that was in 2014, I bought a new computer. It took me 4 days to port all the information over from there to here. The technology has come so far that when I bought this machine, like last fall, I got a new computer last fall, so 6 months ago. I loaded Windows, I downloaded Chrome. Chrome goes, hey, we noticed you have your RoboForm extension on Chrome. Do you want to download it on this computer? I'm like, yes, please. It says, what's your RoboForm master password? I type it in. It goes, here's all your passwords. Done. I downloaded my Dropbox, used RoboForm to log in. Boom. In Dropbox, all my files on my computer. It took me 2 hours to set up this computer. It took me 4 days the last one. So amazing. I did an interview, because I've been using RoboForm for 20 years. I just had my 20th anniversary with RoboForm in February. If you go over to my YouTube channel, you can see my whole interview with the Vice President of RoboForm, Simon, and he answers a ton of questions. There was features they've added in. I didn't even know that they'd added in. I just keep updating it and pay no attention, no mind. I guess I should read their newsletters. Freaking amazing. Worth every penny. It's going to save you so much headache. And it drives me nuts, especially when other people call me and they go, hey, do you know, can you help me with this? And I go, okay, so what's your password? They're like, I don't know. And they pull out some book and and I'm like, no, just go get RoboForm. Oh, I don't want to use that. The hours, the time is so worth it. I tried your guidance on thinking that you're going to win something instead of my normal thought process that I'm not going to win, and I won something. See? You have to think you're lucky before you're lucky. You have to believe you're a winner before you're a winner. Yes. That's so true. Helene Hadsel always said, you have to believe it before you see it. Now listen, I don't win every sweepstakes I enter. I enter hundreds. I think I'm going to win them all, but I don't win them all. Look, see, I just noticed on the counter there's a little bit of milk in there. I'm not going to let it go to dribble. So we'll take that out. So congratulations. Keep it up. That's just the start. You know, I'm going to tell you something. Everybody that takes this hobby seriously wins. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So what I want you to do is every time you enter a sweepstakes, it's kind of like a game. It's so fun. Is this the one I'm going to win? Ooh, how fun is this going to be if I win that? Those tickets look cool. That gift card looks fun. Would love shopping there. Ooh, love that trip. Hey, those shoes would look good on me. Whatever it is, just dream every time you're entering. Fun, 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 fun. And then now, Helene Hadsel said I was scattering my energy doing that. And she's right. However, so what she used to do is pick one prize, laser focus, put all her energy on it, win that prize. I don't like that. I don't find it fun. I prefer to enter all these giveaways and see what shows up. That's my choice. Because when I'm doing it her way, it's not fun for me. Then I have drab energy. Well, how is a prize going to come to somebody that's mopey? No. I prefer to scatter my energy and have fun with that. And I think that's okay. You have to make the hobby your own. Okay, so let's see. So Salma says, I want to travel this summer, but I don't have enough money. Start entering trip giveaways. So first of all, put it out to the universe that you want to travel this summer. Don't worry about the money. You could win a trip. You could win a gift card. You could, someone might invite you as a guest. Like, don't close the doors to how it could show up. Focus on what the end result is and focus on that. But I want you to start with a free site before you get to a paid site. So go to Sweepstakes Fanatics and look at all the trip giveaways that they have on that site and enter all of them. But first, go set up an email address just for entering sweepstakes. And don't use any kind of hint that you're a sweeper in the name. I just use my name. Some people use nicknames. But someone had love winning prizes or something like that. And I'm like, no, don't use that. When the sponsors see that, there's myths. I'm a marketer too, and I'm still busting through those myths. Is RoboForm a software you buy? Yes. It is a software, but it's what they call SAS, software as subscription. So you subscribe to it every year. If you go to my website and scroll down a bit, there's a 30% off coupon. So I think it costs you like $15 for the first year. It's nothing. If you have a little trouble with it, I do teach a RoboForm 101 class, but RoboForm also has on their YouTube and their website a ton of tutorials that will walk you through the program for free. And Aurora says, I've been using RoboForm. Love it. Yeah. Aurora says they have newsletters. Yeah, I think they do. I gotta go look because I should have known. If you go watch my interview with Simon, he's telling me about these features and I'm like, how did I not know about these features? I'm like, oh my God, so bad. Oh, user says, I tried for 2 years, didn't win anything, so frustrating. I'll tell you what you're doing wrong. You're entering low odds giveaways. So here's what I want you to do. There's a couple things you're going to do that are going to shift your odds. Number one, start local. You're going to start entering in concentric circles. You're going to enter first your locals, then your state, then your nationals. Okay? If you're just entering random giveaways that you find on Facebook, everybody and their brother is entering those ones. Okay? You want to enter the ones that are going to have the least amount of people to increase your odds of winning. Okay? So every week, so I follow local companies on Instagram. I have a circle of friends that I tag on those. I have tagging Tuesdays occasionally on my Good Vibration Sweepstakes Club. Last Tuesday, I shared it with everybody. I put it on all my socials so you can tag me. But if you want a circle of friends that you can tag, you can go join my Good Vibration Sweepstakes Club on Facebook. And I guess I should do it this Tuesday now that I'm talking about it. I'll put up a tagging Tuesday in there. Then I want you to, also change your attitude. Think, now the tide is turning, I'm going to start winning. So your attitude's going to change. Because probably now, if you spent this much time and you're entering and you're not winning, you're like, why am I wasting my time? That's not the energy you want to put out there. So think, now, I'm talking to the contest queen, tide's turning, I'm going to start winning stuff. Enter locals, and then go out from there. When you get a little more comfortable, I would spend the money and subscribe to I Win Contest. Tom has the least number of giveaways of all the newsletters. He also has the highest number of winners because he's very careful about what he puts in the newsletter, and he only puts best odds giveaways in there. So they'll have a giveaway sometimes that will give away 20 prizes. 10 of those people are from his newsletter. Crazy amount of winners in his group. And one of the secrets to that is they have a Discord group as part of the newsletter subscription. And so people are sharing code words, people are sharing tips, people are sharing links, all kinds of things. Whole community. How many do you typically win in a year? This year, I'm a little bit down because I haven't been entering as much because I've been so busy. But for someone who hasn't been entering a lot, just won Leafs. There was a Leafs party at a local pub. I won a $25 gift card, and I got a huge Toronto Maple Leafs flag. If you follow me, you know my office is Toronto Maple Leafs because when I moved in with George, he had it in the living room, and I'm like, no, I'm not moving into a man cave. We put it in the office. And so all Toronto Maple Leafs, so we went to that. It was so much fun. On average, when I'm entering for an hour or just over an hour a day, I'll win 5 to 15 prizes a month, depending on what the prizes are. Because when it's 15, there's a lot of little ones in there. And I should be filling out my spreadsheet, but I've been very bad. I haven't been doing it. But what did I just win that I had to get George to sign the form for? I had to get George to sign the form because I won. Oh no, that was the gift card to the party. That's what I did. Yeah, and he always laughs when I first started doing this. I'm like, "Hi, I need you to sign this." He's like, "What am I signing?" I'm like, "The release form because I won a prize." But if you go back, the last year was good. So I've had some down years, and the pandemic kind of wiped a lot of stuff out. Like there was months there was nothing, like until things kind of got rolling again. Last year was my best year in a long time. I won a $5,000 gift card on Booking.com. So I took my sister and her husband and George and I all went to Mexico for a week. That was amazing. Then I won a trip from Coke to the Montreal Electronic Music Festival. Amazing. And then I was trying to make it a trifecta, a hat trick as we call it in hockey. And no, I did not win a third trip, but I did win a 100-inch TV. Oh my God, it's so big that it didn't even fit in the house. Our house is very small. It would have taken up the entire wall. Like if you watched How I Met Your Mother, when Barney had that wall OTV, yeah, that's what it would have been. So we're like, no. So it's in the garage in George's man cave, and it actually fits because it's a huge garage, but it looks better on the wall. Anyway, so that's how many I win. So I had a very good year for big prizes. And what sites do I use? So I personally use a combination of contestcanada.net, Red Flag Deals, Contest Forum, and Contest Girl. However, it depends on where you live, depends on what you're going to use. So if you're in the UK, you might want to use Prize Finder. If you're in Australia, you might want to use Aussie Comps. If you're in the United States, you have the biggest selection. So there's Sweep Sheet, there's Sweepstakes Advantage, there's Sweeps Atlas, there's I Win Contests, there's Sweepstakes Fanatics, there's a myriad of them. If you go to my website, you can poke around and check them all out and then find a format you like. Oh, Donna says, do you enter everything or only things you want? Only things I want. I don't have time to enter everything. I used to enter everything. Like I posted a Throwback Thursday like interview from 2007, and I was like entering everything, and now I look at that and go, oh my God, that's terrible advice. I don't do that now. I don't have time. Like I barely time to enter, let alone just keep entering for everything. There's no. And sometimes I look at stuff and I'll be like, well, that looks like fun. It's going out on a Thursday night. I'm too tired. So I don't even enter. Or some stuff, like there's a contest to win to go see the finale of, I think it's Canada's Got Talent or something. In Toronto, VIP tickets, meet the stars, do all this stuff. And I look at the dates and I'm like, yeah, I think we're busy. And, you know, I live like 40 minutes from Toronto. So let someone from, you know, either side of the country or, you know, somewhere else who, you know, they get the air flights and everything and come in, like, let them win it. So I didn't enter that. This hobby is for the whole world, Brittany, this isn't just for Canada. This is for, so it's the biggest countries that the sweepstakes hobby's in is the United States is number one. India, believe it or not, massive contest hobby. They love their contests in India. It's big in Australia, but not as big. Canada, massive in the UK, massive. If you're over the pond, as they say, go follow my sweepstakes soul sister, Super Lucky Die. She's like the contest queen over there. I'm like, I'm putting it out there. She entered a contest to win a trip to New York. I'm like, you win that trip to New York, I will fly to New York, and you and I are going to hang out. She's like, on. And I'm like, I'm going to try and win a trip to England, and you and I are hanging out. And she's like, you're on. So I've never had a chance to meet her. Life has not taken me down that path to hang out with her. That's on my bucket list, to go hang out with her. She seems amazing. She does fantastic videos. She used to be a graphic designer. Well, I guess you don't stop being a graphic designer. So her videos and things, because she's a Mac girl, I'm so not a Mac girl. She has just amazing website. So even if you're not in the UK and can't enter any of her giveaways, she has awesome tips too. That's the other thing. This hobby is so vast and it's changing so quickly. No one person can keep up teaching it, all of it. That's why I tell everyone, go check out all the other sweepstakes teachers. How do I find local giveaways? Okay, so you're going to look at where you live. Now, if you're in like New York City or like Chicago or like Los Angeles, and some places are better than others. Now think about Los Angeles. They have Hollywood there. They've got Disney there, Universal. There's going to be so many more giveaways for those kinds of things than if you live, 2 hours outside of, Boise, Idaho. It's, there's going to be a big difference between, winning tickets to a New York red carpet premiere because you live in Brooklyn, or if you're in Florida, you can win tickets to Disney or a cruise, because there's cruise ships out there. It's going to be different depending on where you live. So if you're rural, like you're in the middle of Kentucky, nowhere near anything, it's going to be harder for you to find locals than it is if you're in what they call a major market. Now, that said, because you're more rural, it might be easier for you to enter because there's going to be less people, right? Not as many people. So you're going to go check out all your local media outlets, newspapers, if there's any left, television, radio, anything, local businesses, all that kind of stuff, right? And you're going to set up a list. I put it in my RoboForm, but you can use a browser. Call it your weekly folder. And you're going to put links to all those places, and you're going to check them once a week to see what's new. Okay? And that's how you're going to start. Who is that for the subscription? Oh, I think I can type a message in here. Actually, if you go to my website, it's under iWin. He's iWin Contests, and his name's Tom Cavalli. Love Tom. Actually, if you go to my Instagram and you look for the picture of the cute dog, that's Roscoe. Roscoe actually owns iWin. Tom does the funniest videos. There's one where Tom went away, I don't know if it was when he won a trip or when he came to the convention, but Roscoe is having fun. Getting dressed up, gambling, and the whole thing. Like, this dog, apparently he's so funny because if Tom dresses him in a costume, he freezes, which is great for videos because then Roscoe doesn't know what to do, and it's perfect for filming. It's hilarious. So go find Tom Cavalli of iWin. But yeah, if you go to my Instagram, The Contest Queen, look for Roscoe. I've tagged Tom in that video, in that picture. I wanted to actually film a meet and greet with Roscoe. What was funny was how I got that picture. So on this Florida trip, this whole thing to meet, tag, and get the rights to his books, we stopped and saw Tom and his wife Lee. And so we come in the house, and I sit down on the floor, because Roscoe's like a little dog. Like, he's a Dachshund, so he's a little short legs. So I sit on the floor, and Roscoe's like coming all over me, and he's kind of trying to get on my lap, and he's licking me, and I'm petting him, and he's so cute. Tom's like, he doesn't like anybody. I'm like, I got good juju. And so that's how I got that picture of him, because I was sitting on the floor with Roscoe playing with him. He was so cute. Where can I get the list for the USA? Okay, so if you go to Contest Queen, now this is another reason. One of my goals this year, my goal in 2023 is up-leveling everything, including revamping my whole website. I have sent a new design layout to my webmaster, because the problem is that I have to get you to click through for like 5 things to get to the list right now. So in the future design, they're going to be right off the homepage, right? But right now, if you go to contestqueen.com and then click on resources and then find sweepstakes and then sweepstakes aggregates, yeah, you see why I'm doing a redesign? It'll take you to the list. And in the future, it's going to be right off the homepage. But that's a 2023 goal. So we're working on it, because we're not building another site and then repointing. We're changing and updating the site live. So I think he's working from the back pages and going forward. So how do you get started? So if you go to my website, I'll give you the link because it's longer and I've got links. I obviously can't give links through the chat. If you go to contestqueen.com and click on 5 steps to begin winning, that'll get you started. If you sign up for my newsletter, you get a free sweepstakes starter kit. It's basically a 10-page booklet with a cover and a back, so it's 12-page booklet, and that also helps you get started. But what you want to do, here's your 3 steps. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to set up an email address just for entering sweepstakes. Trust me on this one, I found it the hard way. Second of all, you are going to use a sweepstakes aggregate to find sweepstakes. It's going to save you a ton of time. You are not going to search and scour the internet for giveaways. Okay? Start with a sweepstakes aggregate. Over time, you'll get better. If you want to start with a free one, Sweepstakes Fanatics is very popular. Great place to start. Some people like Contest Girl because if you sign up for hers, you can save to my sweepstakes. Same with Sweepstakes Atlas. A lot of sweepers, once they get really seasoned, have 2 or 3 subscriptions. And so that's why I like using RoboForm, or you can use your browser to save. And the other reason I like RoboForm is if I enter one from one place and then I see it somewhere else and I think, oh, that looks like a good prize, and I pull it up, it will notice that I've entered that one before because I've saved it. And then I will know not to do it again. But you're going to start, you're going to start a system. So that's a key, is to be organized. The other thing you're always going to do is read the rules, because you need to know if you're eligible. Like, are you even eligible to enter? Is it open to you? Like, some liquor companies will have you have to be over the age of 21. Well, if you're 20, you can't enter. You're not eligible. Is it open to your state? Sometimes they're regional. Right? It's open to these 6 states. Well, if you're not in one of those 6 states, you can't enter. You're not eligible. So you have to see if you're eligible. Are you eligible? Then you want to see, when does it start and when does it end? Because sometimes sponsors pre-promote and will promote a giveaway before it even starts. So you can bookmark it and come back. So when does it end? Because sometimes they don't take it down right away. So you don't want to keep entering when the page is still up. That happens too. The other thing that you're going to do is that's the other reason I like to organize, because I save all my sweepstakes by end date. So I know when it finishes, the last day I enter, and then I delete it. Then the next thing is eligibility, start and end dates. Entry requirements. So do I have to fill out this form? Do I need a UPC code? Do I need a receipt? If I need to buy a product, what's the alternative method of entry? Like, what do I have to do to enter? Do I have to make a TikTok? Do I have to make an Instagram post? Do I have to make a recipe? Like, do I just have to fill out a form and submit it? Then the other thing you're going to look for is, before that, I should have said, number of entries. So is it single entry? Is it one per person? Is it one per household? Can you enter daily? Is it weekly? Right? So those are the things you have to look for. But again, I outline those on that page, and I am talking quickly here. So go and look at 5 steps to begin winning, because it'll walk you through all those things. That's so fun. It is. This is the best hobby ever. I'm completely biased about this hobby. I'm just seeing if I missed any other questions about contest, sweepstakes, and giveaways. Oh my. Oh my goodness, a lot of people have come and gone. So, okay, so let's see. Is there any other questions that we want to talk about? I've been standing in my kitchen for an hour. I meant to take this and go sit and actually fold laundry while I talk to you and be productive, but out the window. Let's see. Yep, no. And anyway, this is the best hobby. Yeah, it's so fun. There's so many things I've won, but that's the thing. And I talked to Tom about this when we visited, because I did miss some questions. Okay, I'll come back to those. so I did talk to Tom about this, and he was amazed that I use every sweepstakes prize. That, like, he had stashed away a shirt he'd won, a really nice Hawaiian style shirt with the sponsors' logos and stuff all over it, and it was in his size. I'm like, why isn't this in your closet? Why haven't you given it, And he's like, I don't use all my prizes. And I'm like, why? Like, I love all the crazy, weird stuff. Like, in the divorce, there was some things that I left, and I was so sad. Like, I left because he had won them. He'd won this massive Dr. Pepper beanbag chair in the Dr. Pepper, like, burgundy kind of red. It was gorgeous. It was so comfortable. I had to leave it. But I've won lots of cool stuff. And then the other thing I left, I'm so mad I didn't take it, was a football helmet from a local pizza company. And you take the top off, and it's a huge bowl inside the helmet. So you put all your chips in there. And then the mouth guard had 2 slots, and you put 2 different types of dip. Why didn't I take that? Okay, so someone asked me, Kat asked, is PCH real? It is real, but it has worse odds of winning than the Powerball. Your odds of winning the PCH is 1.6 billion to 1. And the reason they did that was because they had a scandal back in the day, and so they made the odds so terrible that it's still legal, but it's not. I don't waste my time on it. There's so many other sweepstakes to be won. Nicole says, is it real? Yes. Companies give away. Hi, Michelle from New Jersey. So fun. And Sweet Dreams. Oh, Sweet Daydream. Oh, that's perfect. How do you become a sweeper? Just found you. Yeah, you just start entering sweepstakes, become addicted, and then you're a sweeper. And there's sweepstakes clubs meetings, there's national conventions. This isn't a new hobby. Like, I want people to go watch the movie The Prize Winner of Defiance, Ohio, or read the book. I think the book's better, but my brain just had a hiccup. Anyway, you'll see what it was like back in the day, where you had to write 25. The subtitle of the book is How to Feed 10 Kids on 25 Words or Less. And Helene Hansel, in her book, talks about winning her first contest with 25 words or less. Candy says, you must have 1 billion emails a day. Actually, I don't. And I tell people this. I have less spam in my contest email than I do in my work email. I only subscribe to a newsletter if I know they host frequent giveaways. I really love the company and I happen to want to get their newsletter. Or I get extra entries for entering that. And then every couple of months I do an unsubscribe. So I probably get 100 a day, and that's it. Yeah, Kelly says, I love that movie, right? And if you go back into my blog archives, I got to be an honorary affidavy for the day because I hung out before they all passed away. My last visit with them was in 2010 in Payne, Ohio. The ladies, Dorotha Schiffer, who is played by Laura Dern in the movie, yeah, I went to her house. Amazing women, man. Those ladies were they were contest queens, man. Holy cow. Like, I use it as a marketing moniker, and in some ways I really am a contest queen. But man, those ladies, they won everything on 25 Words for Less. They were so clever. Sweet Dreams, what's the easiest sweepstakes to win? I like, for me, now here's the thing, everyone has their own. Like, Kate Newton here, who's, I think her handle's Raging Loons or something. She's brilliant. One of these days I'm going to get her as a guest on with the Contest Queen. She loves Instagram. She wins so much stuff off Instagram. I'm terrible at Instagram. I only win last year I won 1 Instagram, or was it 2? But I don't enter them as often as I should. 2. I won 2 Instagrams. I won one in the Christmas Crazies, and I call it Sweepstakes Season because December's nuts. And I won
Two huge stock pots, one at a Father's Day one for me and one for my dad. That was awesome. But she wins all the time off Instagram. I can't. So everybody seems to have their own like talents, right, to what they're winning. Tom does very well in the skill giveaways. I know somebody who only enters. His name's Walt. He only enters video contests. He might enter 5 a year, but he might win 3 of those. It depends on what you like to do. So, you have to kind of play with it. That's what's fun about this hobby. You just play with it and see what works for you. Right? Everybody has their thing. And that's what makes it fun to me. And Kim says, what was the movie? Subdue? Bijou. Oh, Bijou. It's the prize winner of Defiance, Ohio. And I personally prefer the book, but I love the movie too. And Dorothy said to me, everything that happened in the book and the movie did happen, but they kind of jumbled a few things together to make the stories flow and work. So Terry Ryan, who was one of Evelyn Ryan's 10 children, after Evelyn passed, found all the journals, and she put together the book. So some of the incidents did happen, all of the incidents that were written about in the book happened, however, not all together. So sometimes there's a story that has this component, this component, this component. They would have happened at 3 separate times, but to make the story flow, she put them together to make the continuity. But everything did happen. Do you have to share posts and tag people or invite people to contests and promote the products? Well, it depends on the giveaway. Usually on Instagram, yes. Sometimes on TikTok, if they're running it as a simple, like, follow, share, comment, sweepstakes, yes. Otherwise, no. Like, the prize that I won, so we went to a local pub last night, and if you go to my Instagram, you'll see me holding the $25 gift card. I won the other prize later. They had a special on wings. Everybody was in their Leaf jerseys. There was a Leaf and alumni there. Everyone was getting pictures. I totally forgot to get a picture with them. Anyway, so it was a lot of fun. It was a huge event. Everybody, and then we had Leafs trivia. Some people won tickets to the game. Some people won signed jerseys. Luck of the draw. And oh my God, I just lost my train of thought. Hang on, let me go back to that question. So that one, I actually have the Toronto Maple Leafs app and the Raptors app on my phone. So that's another locals one. Forgot to say that one. Your local team may have an app or a website, and they will host giveaways all the time. Like, we were just on our way home from Florida. We went through Nashville, and the Predators were playing the Winnipeg Jets. Had they beat the Leafs, we might have gone to the game. But they had a whole section in the front, like a tailgate section. They were giving away prizes right there. All kinds of stuff. So look for all your local sports team: football, hockey, baseball, basketball, lacrosse. I don't know. I was going to say lacrosse, but I think that's Canadian. We actually have a Toronto Rocks team, and I won tickets to a lacrosse game one time. It was actually kind of fun. It was so different. That's the other thing I like about this hobby. I won tickets to events and things that I would never normally go to. When would I go to lacrosse? It was so fun. So it depends on the type. So those ones are actually, for me, those ones are all in-app. Giveaways. So does anybody else have any questions? Because I think I'm going to wrap it up. Because I've been talking so much, my tea's getting cold. I think I have to nuke it a little bit. And let's see what's going on here. I need to change that sticker. You know what? While we're at the end of this, I think it keeps it. So I think it's under Enhance. Stickers. Let's see. Can we change the sticker?
Ask me anything. Now we're going to say learn to win sweepstakes. There we go. That's better. I think it'll save it till next time. There we go. Now it's more legible because white on yellow, it's very hard. I love this. I love TikTok. I should go live more often, but it's been hard because I've been busy. And then my last live that I planned on Facebook and YouTube, when I did it it never occurred to me that the hotel would have terrible internet. So I've learned always pack your Ethernet cable. I could have plugged in direct, but I didn't think about that. Anyway, Kim wants to know, what do you do first? So set up an email address just for entering sweepstakes. It's going to save you a ton of headache. Then go to a site like, I don't know where you live, so I'm going to give you an American one, but literally Google for your country. Like if you're in the UK, competition websites win prizes. And then in Canada, same thing. So find an aggregate. So go to like Sweepstakes Fanatics or Contest Girl or there's so many of them. Actually, oh my God, I haven't blogged about this yet. Contest Chest, I was doing a live. I found out Contest Chest went offline. I got a notification from Everett that he's got Contest Chest back up. It's the only global aggregate that I know of. So I was very happy to see he's back, but it might take him a bit of time. Oh, you're in Michigan. Okay, so yeah, I would start with Sweepstakes Fanatics because it's free. And then once you get comfortable with the hobby, and you understand how to read the rules and kind of go through that stuff, then subscribe to something like Sweepstakes Advantage to get all their extra features, or like I Win Contest, something like that. A lot of people, when they get really good at it, have 2 subscriptions. A lot of people also like Sweetie Sweeps. So that's another one you can check out. Like I said, go to my website under resources and click on sweepstakes aggregates. Again, we'll be moving to the homepage. Lots of changes coming this year. I'm building a new website just for the books. So a lot of the books are coming off. We're going to have some of the main features of the website move forward. I'm very excited, actually. It needed a refresh too. Also a whole new refresh, a whole new look. I might even get a new logo. Ooh. So yeah, because that's the problem right now, the way the website's set up. It's not as conducive to teaching people how to win as I would like. And the thing is, when you set up a website initially, you think, okay, this is going to be the logical flow of how somebody's going to go through the site. And then it turns out that's not the way it works. So now that I'm doing a refresh, we're like, okay, what do people really go to mostly on my site? This, and this. And so that we're going to bring all those things that are kind of at the back of the website forward, right to the front page, and make it easier for you to find, organize, enter, and win sweepstakes contests and giveaways. And then we have sweepstakes meetings. I just posted about it. If you go to my Facebook for the link, or you can go to my Instagram, I have an April calendar, and I have I just posted a giveaway, and the next virtual contest club meeting's on April 14th. But I'm always posting these, like every month. I've kind of got it like a system, so every month I send out a calendar email, and then I usually host a giveaway every month. I had a couple months I was a little crazy busy, so I took a couple months off. But it's back. I teach workshops. We have contest club meetings. I do free live streams. Like I already have 3 free live streams booked for April. We have Sarah Jordan, who's going to talk about Helene Hatzel and her blueprints. So excited to talk to her. We have Carl Fife of Sweepstakes Atlas. He's coming on. And then I have my monthly Sweepstakes Q&A, which I just did. So I actually use StreamYard, which is really cool because what I do is I can pop your questions onto the screen and answer them. And then a lot of people email me a bunch in advance. So I sit there with a sheet of paper and I'm reading all these questions. And some months I get like 2 and some months I get like 10 or 15. Like it's funny at the beginning, but how it goes. So just, pop on
and check the calendar. And so I have free events, some that cost $1. I charge $1 to come to the Sweepstakes Club meetings because it's the only way for me to track who's coming. Plus, it helps with the, I pay to host the meetings, so it helps mitigate my cost, And I don't even keep the whole dollar. PayPal takes like 40 cents. I got my virtual assistant. She wants me to move over to something called Stripe. I don't know. We'll see. And then I have full-on paid workshops, and they're usually fairly small, so it's almost like you get a one-on-one. If you want, have a sweepstakes for beginners class, sometimes if you're a visual learner, it may be very beneficial for you to take one of the classes because I love Zoom. I was using Zoom 3 years before everybody else was. Because I could share my screen and I walk people through step by step, and then I show people, hey, this is how you do it, and then somebody else say, can you do that again, and we'll go through it again. And sometimes you need to see something 2, 3, 4, 5 times while you're going through the process, and they're like, I get it. And when you see it in real time, the other reason I haven't filmed, a lot of people will film these classes and put them online. You can just watch videos. Sweepstakes are always changing. And then people in the classes have a question like, hey, I recently saw this Instagram giveaway that had this clause in it. It was very confusing. Can we go look at it? So we'll actually go in real time and look at that one that's live, like right now, and go see what's going on with it and check it out and see if it's good or bad or weird or wrong, or, the sponsor's really green and they didn't know how to set up a giveaway properly, or, that kind of a thing. So it doesn't really feel, I know at some point I'll have to do it. I kind of don't want to. Everyone's like, sell a course. But I like the whole teaching people in real time. And I don't want to take that away right now, because I also love the people, the sweepstakes people, because it's such a fun community. Oh my gosh, you have not met so many fun people in your life. So many fun people. Go back on my TikTok after this and go look at the little video I did with the Tar Heel event. You'll see how many, and people I haven't seen. Like, here's the thing that I did not expect from this hobby, and that's the friends I've made for life. Like, lifelong friends from entering sweepstakes. Who knew? Like, just, I can't even tell you. And a long time ago when I was going through my divorce, and I ended up doing a book tour, and I had no money that year, and I literally couch surfed a trip to Florida and back doing this book tour, and I stayed with sweepers the whole way. They're all like, you have to come stay with us. Come to our house. Come stay as long as you want. People are so nice. And just wonderful people. And actually, when we went to the Tar Heel event, the lady that had me over, they wanted to do it again, but they had the house full of grandkids at this time, and they didn't have any extra rooms. But her and her husband was so wonderful, and we didn't get to spend any time with them. Like, people are just nice. Like, I can't even tell you, the sweepstakes community, just the best people. And we're all so positive. Like, everyone's like, we're winning. That's why I started this, but sometimes you get the stink eye from people that aren't sweepers, and a lot of sweepers don't like telling other people they win, because they're like, oh, you won again? You're so lucky. They have no idea how much time we spend entering. And then, so I started the Good Vibration Sweepstakes Club. So if somebody won something, and they could come and post it in the group, and all of us go, yes! And we're so happy for them. So they don't get the stink eye. They get cheered. And that's why the conventions are so good, because somebody wins something and everyone goes, yay! It's so fun. Now, what was really funny at the Tar Heel event, Tom ran what they call a reverse draw. So if you pulled your name out, you didn't win, you lost. And you don't want to hear your name. And he got down to the last 10, and then those people in there, like, he's like at the very end, but as he was going along and he's pulling out names, people are booing and hissing and stuff. I was laughing so hard. I'm starting to rethink this idea. This might not have been a good idea. And I'm like, no, this is brilliant. I totally love this. Like, everybody's normally, with the whole 100 people, we're all cheering and screaming and whooping and hollering. And instead, they're all hissing and booing, was the funniest thing. They then what was cool at the end, he got down to 4 because he gave out smaller prizes. And he said, one of you is going to win $500, but I'm going to give you a choice. Do you want to all draw or do you want to all split it? And every single one of the sweepers said, we'll split it. So they each walked away with $125. And that's the kind of community they are. They're all like, yeah, let's share the prize. Like, we're all winners. This is fine. And I was so happy that they all, and it was not even a question. They're all like, do you want to share? Absolutely. Do you want to share? Absolutely. Not even a question in their minds that they were going to share the prize with the other person. I just think that's wonderful. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I've been standing in the kitchen for like an hour and a half chit-chatting about sweepstakes because it's my favorite thing to talk about. And I love teaching other people how to win giveaways because, you know, fun. But if you have any questions, I actually have an email address, that questions@contestqueen.com. So send them to me. I have tons of questions that I've answered in my videos. Feel free to message me on TikTok or on Instagram or on Facebook or on Twitter. I'm everywhere. And I do all kinds of live streams. I have a newsletter. I have books. You know, my very first book, the ebook, is only 99 cents on Kindle. And you don't even need a Kindle to buy it because you can just download the Kindle app. One of these days I'll get it on the other platforms because I don't have it on Google or Apple or Kobo. But one day I'll get it there. And I think that's it. So, ciao for now. And I promise not to leave it so long before I go live on TikTok again because I love this app. It's the best app. And then I'm going to go download this and put it on YouTube. Oh, yeah, thanks for hanging out, Aurora. You know, Aurora, if you ever want to come with the Contest Queen when Sweepers chat, just DM me. And you and I can chat for an hour live. It would be fun. And, yeah, that's the other thing. People don't realize. They're like, well, you win. No, there's so many winners. There's so many prizes. It's impossible for one person to win them all. There's enough prizes for everybody. There really is. It's amazing. Anyway, thanks for now. Oh, yeah, they moved the end button.